Hi, welcome to the day 7 of 30 days of AI in testing challenge. And my today's challenge was to research and share prompt engineering techniques. So, a wonderful challenge, I would say, because it helped me open up my learnings on multiple levels and about some core concepts associated with this key AI skill called prompt engineering. So the challenge was to learn prompt engineering so that people and learners like us can leverage AI better. The step was to research on prompt engineering and then share our findings, maybe techniques, how it works, and potential impact. And then there was a useful resource which was given, that was promptingguide.ai. So I did all of this activity today, and now I will share you my summary. So just like every day, let's look at the context. So I made this mind map for day 7 of 30 days of AI in testing by the Ministry of Testing. And I am Rahul Parwal, who has been making these summary videos, and I've been participating in this initiative. So let's start with what is prompt engineering. So it's a very new discipline. Prompt engineering has now become a buzzword in the industry, and especially in the last 1 year, there are a lot of talks and blogs and things that are going around in the world of AI, which revolve only on this prompt engineering thing. The basic idea is that it helps you to optimize prompts so that you can efficiently use large language models, query and get your results in your desired formats and so on. So essentially, different task needs different prompting techniques, and prompt engineering covers all of that. So it enables basically your LLM capabilities to, and it helps you get more out of it. So essentially, uh, you can use prompt engineering to augment context, domain knowledge, and even external information and tools with your LLM. Now, different use cases, typical use cases. Now, these are use cases of AI and LLM that people use, and for these use cases, you can certainly use prompt engineering like text summarization, information extraction from a big document, or question answering. So, writing answers to questions, or text classification, or data classification, conversation, code generation, code writing, and reasoning. So these are all popular generic use cases, and in the coming section we will see how we use them for our testing needs. So the next is prompting basics. So first thing first, what does a prompt contain? So a prompt contains instruction, and the instruction could be a task or a question. So typical tasks are like write this, classify this, summarize, translate, order. So these are tasks, or either it could be a question followed by a context, that for what kind of scenario are you looking for this answer. So context could be that I am coming from this background, software testing background, or I follow RST, or I do clean coding, I like putting comments. So these are all context of my work. So describing the context along with your prompt, and then some inputs. So basically it could be a data set or an example, that this is the standard, or how I use my code, or this is the format in which I want my output. And then output indicators, where you tell like this is the specific data type which I want, and this is the format, and give it to me like this. Now you could also teach LLM better, or tell it to uh, give you answers in a specific format, but training it in form of question and answer. And you can do this in prompt, that if I give such kind of a question, this is the answer I expect. If I give this question, this is what I expect. And by this way, once you give your end question, the LLM knows what format of answers you want, and this strategy helps you obtain answers from your LLM. Now next is some tips. So essentially the key tips are that you have to be specific. So whatever you want, be specific. Even in terms of, for example, if you want a Selenium code generation, then what version of Selenium are you working on? So be specific. What .NET version, what C# version, what Visual Studio version are you working on. So I mean, anything that's important, put those things and be specific about it. Don't give vague things that write a code to do this. But if you are not specifying language, then it will take its own assumptions, it will also hallucinate a lot. So be specific with the details. Avoid impreciseness. So instead of, for example, saying that give short replies, which is very imprecise and ambiguous, and how short do you want, a better version would be reply in 2 lines. And avoid saying what not to do, because anything that you are writing, it's going as a token. So sometimes when you specify things in don't do this, it will maybe end up your answers will come that it's doing that which you have asked it not to do. So instead, better way is that in your prompts mention what you want it to do rather than what you don't want it to do. So phrase your sentences like what should it do versus what should it not do. And then few prompting techniques and important ones. So the first one is this zero shot prompting. So zero shot prompting is basically what we have all been doing by default, which is prompting without much context or info. I mean, just do this or summarize or rewrite this mail. So one liner and essentially no example. So short in this context means example in the context of prompt engineering. So if you give no examples, it's a zero shot. If you give one or more example, it's actually few shot prompting, where you give examples to share your context. Like I said here, where you could use and augment Q&A. So these are ways to provide examples or how you want things to be done in a specific format. And one or more example may be used in the prompt. But the drawback is that even after giving examples, sometimes it's not reliable. It's not reliable and it doesn't work out. So third part is chain of thoughts, which is another powerful strategy. So I'll just zoom in a bit. So if you see this and I'll just expand this so that this is visible better. So essentially standard prompting lies one question then answer, then one question and then you expect answer. So this is standard few shot prompting and how you explain an example. But in chain of thought prompting, you actually explain the answers also. So then you expect the model to explain its answers and its reasoning and its chain of thought like you did. So if you establish such kind of chain of thought, then you can do this. And you could also use this, or you could also use this by ending your prompt with let's think step by step. So when you end your prompt with this, the LLM will try to break the answers in a step by step manner, in a chain of thought manner, and you will get intermediate reasoning and stuff like that. So if you have something which involves multiple level and explanation and you want LLM to give that out, then this chain of thought prompting is very important. Then the last part is the application. So what I did, I tried out these few short prompting and chain of thought prompting, and I created prompts for my test data generation needs. So what I did, I tried to explicit add the context. So I want you to act as an expert software tester from the RST background, your work on testing applications for industrial automation. I want you to generate positive and negative test data to expose vulnerabilities, provide the results in tabular format. So I explained it what I wanted it to do, and I want you to generate, and I've written this 10 rows, but when I want to reuse this prompt, I can give the number of rows or whatever I expect of test data for whatever use case I have. And these are the variable names to create test data for. So essentially defining the columns or the variables. Similarly for test script, what I did was I created something similar, but I was very specific that I want the code in Selenium version 4 and .NET 5 only. And you can put comments before upload. I want to do it in clean coding background and I want you to do this. Now one tool that I love to do this is this prompt expander tool, which is Get Magical. So now this tool, so you can save these prompts in this tool and then annotate a shortcut to that. So what I have done, I'll just go to GPT and I'll show you how I could use this to instantly to define my test data. So I'll prove /test data, and the moment I do that, it replaces and expands that /test data into this prompt, and then I can just specify a use case, which is the use case could be for login, and I'll just specify that I want 20 rows of test data for login, and username comma password, and then I gave it this, and then now it started creating this with different use cases of username password. What is the expected result, valid, invalid, both kind of cases getting added. So such kind of prompts can help you quickly generate your data, and then you can obviously review this and use whatever are valid use cases and all, but it tried to create certain kind of data things. So that is all for today, and that was my summary, and which I had added in the day 7 of this challenge. So I have added this answer here, and I would like to thank everyone who has watched this and is finding value. And prompt engineering is one very good technique, and I had a limited view of it, and that view expanded today after I read about it in this prompt engineering.ai website. So wonderful things. So I encourage everybody to try out this prompting guide website, pretty powerful, and keep prompting, keep learning AI, and see you tomorrow in day 8. Thank you. Bye.